financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Ready?
Thank you.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is credit cards out of control. Jenny Lingl.
Hi, Ken. Good to be here.
Nice to see you. Jeffrey Kirshner.
Nice to see you, although this topic makes me a little nervous.
It does.
Well,
I'm thinking about all those Amazon
All right,
boxes
then let's
piling up.
then let's just get right to the topic.
I think
Or
we
did
should.
Or did I forget something?
you didn't forget.
Brian.
Ken,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you.
It's always a pleasure to be here. This is a topic that I can truly sink my teeth into.
He's very excited to be here today.
All right, well, credit card debt in America today. I found an interesting website, thebalance.com, gave us all the current stats on credit card debt. Here are the numbers. $8,151 is the average credit card debt per U.S. household as of March of this year. $1.027 trillion in total credit card debt, and that's divided among 126 million households. It exceeds the 1.02 trillion that existed in April 2008 before the financial crisis.
I think right now is where ominous music should be playing in the background.
Dun, dun, dun. 5,323 credit card debt for card-carrying adult. 7,527 average debt load for someone who doesn't pay it off. Average debt load for someone who has gone to credit counseling, 24,000. Usually on 5 different cards, usually amounts to 60% of their total income for a year.
I want to point out something. You just used the word average a whole bunch of times. What that means, of course, is that there's a whole bunch of people in that 126 million U.S. households
That are worse.
that have zero debt. And there's a
For
whole
everyone that has
50%,
zero.
right.
There's
The other
somebody
one
that
has
has
twice
now
as much.
16,000.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you something. While I understand everybody's going, well, $8,000 doesn't sound so bad. I'm seeing people on a regular basis that walk into my office with $30, $40, $50, $70, $100,000 for the credit card debt as a regular occurrence.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about it being something like it just shows up once in a blue moon. The blue moon is when I'm seeing $200,000 and $300,000 for the credit card debt.
Well, let me ask you a question. Well, I mean, because I think this is a sentiment that many people have. I'm making the minimum payments. I have another 60. I owe 60,000 in credit card debt, but I got another 60,000 available. I actually pay a little bit more than my minimum payments every month. What's the big deal? I got a 720 credit score.
Woohoo!
Why is that such? What's the problem with that?
The problem with that is you're stealing from your future. You're stealing from your family's future.
I'm not stealing anything.
Yes, you
I
are.
use the cards to buy things for the benefit of my family. How am I stealing from their future? I don't even
Okay.
understand. I've watched this show before. I know you guys think credit card debt is a terrible thing. I don't get it. I'm fine. I got my plastic. I want to go shopping. I want to pop
What's in
over
your
to Lord
saving
Taylor.
account?
How
I
much-
see a pair
yeah,
of
how much-
jeans,
how much do you have
200 bucks. I throw it on the card.
How much do you have saved?
I got 10,000 in my IRA.
Okay, and how are you going to live when you retire?
Retire? Who's talking about retirement? I'm 45 years old.
Liar! Okay, but how are
What
you
am I
going to
worried
retire?
about that for?
How
I
you-
haven't thought about that.
That's the problem.
That's the answer to most
So-
people
so,
say.
and-
I have thought about it. The real Ken Gross has now thought about it. The old Ken Gross, when he was 45, probably hadn't thought about it.
But if you take that same amount of money that you're paying towards the minimum monthly payments on the credit cards, if you could just take that, let's say you have $20,000 for the credit card debt. $20,000 for the credit card debt, minimum monthly payment is $500 a month. That's $7,000.
Save that money.
That's $6,000 a year.
All right, let's put up some numbers on the board, okay? Let's talk about Jim's credit card. The credit card trash is what we call this. Jim is our fictional character. His income's $75,000 a year. He has $50,000 of credit card debt, 20% interest on the card. Annual interest, $50,000 times 20%, 10 grand. Monthly minimum payment, $1,250 a month. Annual payments, $15,000 a month. Jim's tax bracket, he's in a 15% tax bracket. For Jim to make the minimum payments, he needs to gross out of his pay $17,647 to pay his taxes to net him $15,000 a year. $17,647 against his $75,000 gross income is 23.53% of his gross income to pay the credit cards.
Means that's an even higher percentage of what he's actually taking home that he's paying.
It's insane. But Jim says, I've got a 720 credit score.
Okay, so the credit score, the end result here is just you've got to find a plan and a path to get out of this credit card debt. And people say, but I don't want to hurt my credit score. This is a big factor. When I first sit down with people, they say, I can't hurt my credit score.
I can't because I watch the news. I read this. I see posts on Facebook. I see commercials for songs. I get my credit score with all of my credit cards. My credit score is probably more important than anything.
Your credit score,
isn't it?
Is not a badge of self-worth. And that's what the
I'm
credit.
not looking for a badge of self-worth.
That's what the credit industry is trying
it's
to
an
make you
important
feel.
thing.
Well, tell
I'm
me
not
what
going to
you
be able to buy a car.
What are you
Remember
using
that
your credit
article
score for?
where it says your credit score was more important than your grade point average?
Well, I'm not in school now. What do I care about my grade point average?
What do you care about your credit score?
What are you going to use your credit score for? To buy a house? You already have a house.
To lease a car.
You
already
know
have-
what? If you are breathing and making $150 a week, I assure you there's a lender out there that'll give you a car.
But I'll pay a higher rate.
You'll pay a higher rate, but if you don't have the debt, think of how much more cash you'll have in the bank.
And more
So you're
important.
saying I don't really need my credit score?
Well, no.
Credit
if-
score is irrelevant, and if you damage it, it will heal.
But you're
Can
using
I
it.
hear from him?
Yeah, please. I mean, you're mainly using credit score for what? House or a car? Well, first of all,
I
if
have
you're-
a house.
If you're in that much a financial problem, who cares what your credit score is because you're not going to be able to purchase the house to begin with.
It's true.
And with regard to a car, again, you're not going to be able
So
to
you
afford
guys
it
are
to
saying to me that credit score is not the end of the world. We'll be back after the break.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
You're all set to retire. You have your home paid off, money in the bank, and sound investments. But if you're not careful, all the things that you work so hard for can disappear. At Samasco Financial, we'll help you prevent that. We go beyond ordinary asset management. We'll safeguard everything that you have by creating a plan made specifically for you. How much can you afford to lose? Nothing. Protect the people that you love and the things that you have. Call Samasco Financial today.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so let's get back to Jim. So you guys are working on me. I'm Jim to make me think I don't need to worry about my credit score. I'm hearing you. I'm not quite totally convinced. But here's the important thing. I'm going to confess. I have no money. I'm saving no money in the bank every month, and I have nothing in my IRA and 401k. I just managed to make the minimum payments. And what happens is I write all my checks out after I get my paycheck, and then by the next pay period, I'm short of cash, so I use the cards to charge. That's the credit card trap, which means the cards go down, but then they come right back up because I can't make it from one period to the next without using them. Now, here's the scenario. I'm paying $12.50 a month on those cards. At 6% per month, that $12.50, if I were to save it, if I took all that money, got rid of the credit card debt, didn't spend it on anything else other than banked it in the bank for savings.
At 6% annual growth.
At 10 years, $204,851.
That's better than zero.
In 20 years, $577,000.
Even better than zero.
Right now, let's back it down. Let's suppose instead of $12.50, I just saved the interest that I'm paying, the $833 a month I'm paying every month, and I saved that at 6%. 10 years, $136,000. 20 years, $384,000. It's a lot of money.
You know what? That's still better than zero.
Way better. Now go to the extreme, because Jim's going to say, well, I'm not going to save the money, I'm going to spend it on other things. Let's suppose that's true. He gets rid of the $12.50 a month he's paying on the credit cards. He spends $1,000 of it, but he saves $250. $250 a month, 10 years, $41,000. 20 years, $115,000. Here's my point.
Wait, this is going to shock you and tell you that still better than zero.
It's not only still better than zero,
It's
way
much better than zero.
Here's the thing. Go to the 3-point retirement plan we've talked about. Because remember, we started talking about, are you worried about retirement when you're 45? Well, at 65, you're certainly going to be worried about retirement. If you got rid of all your debt, you had zero debt, you own your house free and clear, and you have some savings. Let's say it's the 115, the 384, or the 577. You're okay in retirement. It's not like it's not like the stuff you get in the mail or the stories you hear on the news that say you need to have 20 times your annual salary in retirement in order to retire comfortably. I'm not talking about retiring and taking the worldwide trips or living exactly the same way you did before. I'm talking about being comfortable in retirement so you don't have to worry about food, shelter, gifts for the grandchildren, transportation, and an occasional vacation. If you have zero debt, you have Social Security, you have some money coming in on savings, and you own that house free and clear, you're okay. You will make it through your retirement without having to borrow from your children or be going on welfare. And that's an important thing for a lot of people. Jim, on the other hand, if he just continues worrying about his stinking credit score and gets to 70 and he owes $100,000 in credit card debt, he's got a car payment, he's got a mortgage payment, and he has nothing in savings, where's he going to be?
It's an impossibility.
He's going to be in a tent.
Up the creek.
Yes, it's a possibility because the older you get, the less earning capacity you have. Unless you win Powerball, which is highly unlikely.
He's not even going to have enough money to buy the Powerball tickets because he's going to make all of his payments on the credit cards because he's worried. He wants on his tombstone, I had a 720 credit score my entire life, but I had to borrow from family for this tombstone.
Right, and it's the stress that's going to kill him, and all his debtors are going to...
When he realizes too late that he made a mistake.
See, here's the thing.
So what's the solution?
The solution is the credit cards. We take the credit score and we smash it. We don't care about it. Here's the
And see, if I knew you were going to say that, I would have gotten like a big gavel and I would have put a credit card there on like a stack and I would have let you smash it and it would go, and they'd go all over the screen. It would be like a great visual.
except we.
Why didn't you tell me that you were going to come up with that line?
I don't know. It just popped into my head. What can I tell you? But let's take a look at what the credit score smasher is. Options, bankruptcy, debt resolution. We've got.
I don't know what debt resolution
We'll
is.
get there. We've got budget management.
I don't know what budget management is.
Okay. These are things.
I can solemnly swear that from the day I started working to this day, I've never learned exactly what budget management is.
Because budget management is a different thing for each individual client. It's figuring out how to eliminate the waste in their budget to find extra money to get rid of the debt. There are 3 paths to getting rid of your credit card debt so that you can start pushing forward and putting money into savings. The simplest, most effective method is a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. If I can qualify him for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, I will eliminate his debt,
Jim's
or anybody's.
Jim's worried about his credit score.
So let me.
Is a bankruptcy going to hurt my credit score?
How
A bankruptcy
long
is
will-
absolutely going to hurt your credit score.
How long before your credit score comes back up after a
That's the
bankruptcy?
best question. Nobody ever asks that question. They always say, "What's it going to do?" The answer
Were
is
you
once we
queued in to ask that question, or did you just ask it on your
Once
own?
we-
I knew he was waiting for it.
once we draw the line in the sand and eliminate the debts through a bankruptcy, your credit score will come back to an acceptable range where you can get car loans and
How long?
generally 18 to 24 months.
Okay.
Okay, that's
That's a long time when you're 20.
it's a
But when you're 60, 18 to 24 months is a drop in the bucket.
That's it. It is all a drop in the bucket. And if your credit score drops to 500 and then comes back up to that glorious 720 that you seem to love, then you've done the job.
When we
and
come
you're
back
out of
from
debt.
the break, I want you to walk us through how we get rid of the debt. We'll be back after the break.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Will I outlive my money?
Medicaid is so confusing.
A will, or do I need a trust?
What if mom needs to go in a nursing home?
At Samasco Law, we have the answers to all of these questions. Our attorneys will eliminate the confusion and develop a plan that's right for you. We are dedicated to veterans benefits, assisted living, and nursing home care. Samasco Law can help prepare you for a long future. Call Samasco Law today.
Nothing provokes panic and fear like the threat of a school shooting. Unfortunately, we've seen a sharp increase in students making copycat threats in order to gain notoriety. I'm Macomb County Prosecutor Eric Smith. Students, this behavior will not be tolerated. Felony charges will be brought against anyone who threatens the safety of our schools. Parents, please talk to your children and pass along this message. If you threaten our schools, it will cost you your future.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. Want to remind our viewers to listen to us Tuesdays 11:30 a.m. and Saturdays 7 o'clock a.m. for Law and Reality Live on Praise 102.7. Also on Saturdays 11 o'clock a.m. 103.5 The Light for Law and Reality Now. Be sure and sign up for our monthly contest. Free $50 Visa gift card, Law and Reality hat, and copy of my book Dump Your Debt. Just go to the website, sign up, and you're entered. We've got seminars coming up on Wednesday, August 1. 6 o'clock to 7:30 p.m., Debt Free is Me. We're going to walk through all the steps we use to preserve future income for you and your family, how to eliminate debt using bankruptcy, solutions to eliminate debt outside of bankruptcy. We'll also have a special segment by Jeff Kirshner on the basics of filing a disability claim. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Sign up at thavgross.com or lawandreality.com or call 888-235-HELP. We also have a seminar coming up Wednesday, August 22nd, 6 to 7:30 p.m., Estate Planning for the Later Years. We're going to go through the elements of an estate plan, documents you must have while you're living. Pat Simasko, our elder law expert, is going to lead us through nursing home and extended care, Medicaid planning, and aid and attendance benefits for vets. Attendees get a free $300 gold certificate off the cost of an estate plan. Sign up thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Also remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. Just go to the website or call 888-235-HELP. Debt and estate planning issues with Brian, tax issues with Jenny, elder law issues with Pat Simasko, disability issues with Jeff Kirshner, business issues with myself. Sign up at lawandreality.com or call 888-235-HELP. Also, go to the website and check out our free reports, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formations and Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan. Also, the Retiree's Guide to Social Security from Pat Simasko. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Simasko Law. Now back to the show.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
You're telling me I'm going to ruin my credit score.
I'm going to...
I can't stand the thought. But if that's what I have to do to get rid of this debt for the sake of my future, I will do so.
But you're not going to ruin your credit score. You're going to damage it temporarily. And that's the key. People think that you'll never come back. Oh my God, it'll be on my credit report for 10 years. Who cares? It's not what's on your credit report for 10 years. It's when does your credit score heal? When do you become actively able to get credit again when you want it? And quite honestly, after a bankruptcy, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, if you are in need of financing for an automobile, albeit you will pay a higher interest rate, it's there the day after your case is discharged. Credit cards come back. If you need a credit card or want a credit card, the average client I have gets a credit card reissued to them 6 months after they file a bankruptcy.
Here's the other point, and I'm trying to emphasize it for two reasons. Number one is people are very brainwashed into worrying about their credit score, and that brainwashing is intentional by the banking industry to stop you from doing the smart thing of getting rid of the debt. The other thing is a guy like Jim, his credit card balances keep going up because he's in the credit card trap. His credit score doesn't stay at 720. It starts to decline because what happens when you get too much debt, the score goes down, and even then, if the score is up, you still can't get any credit because you've tapped out. Lenders look at you, they pull your credit report, they see how much debt you owe, you still don't get approved. So it's a it's a fiction that credit score even does you any good when your debt level gets too high. But you need to realize it's a brainwashing that's going on by intent of the financial industry. Why do you think they give you your credit score for free with virtually every credit card now?
Because
they're paying to do that.
They create the badge of self-worth.
Yes.
They make you feel like it's...
How do I get rid of the debt?
So, simplest way,
Do I
again,
have to file
Chapter 7
bankruptcy?
bankruptcy. If you don't qualify for a Chapter 7, then we're going to look at two different methods.
Suppose I'm making $125,000 a year.
So we're going to look
I
at
have
two different methods.
I have too much credit card debt.
We're either going to look at Chapter 13 bankruptcy, where we restructure your debt and pay what you can afford over a period of time, and hopefully that's a small amount. Or we do debt resolution, where we settle your debts for quote-unquote pennies on the dollar, utilizing the power of the minimum monthly payment. You're paying the minimum monthly payments. If you instead of
$1,250 a month on Jim.
if we took that $1,250 a month and stopped paying Visa and MasterCard and put it in a bank account and saved it up, that in
$30,000 in 2 years.
18 to 24 months of time will be more than enough money to negotiate a settlement with all of the credit card companies, getting you out of debt for roughly 50 cents on the dollar or less, 40 cents on the dollar, and your credit score will then start to heal.
Here's the point. It doesn't matter how much cents on the dollar you're ultimately at. Right now, Jim, if he doesn't do anything, he's going to spend $1,250 or more per month for the rest of his life, and he's still going to have $75,000 of debt at the end.
But if Jim does debt resolution, he could spend $30,000 and he would save the principal of $45,000 and he'd save another $75,000 in interest.
And I wouldn't even say it quite that way. I would say in 18 months, he'll stop paying the $1,250 a month because he'll have used that money with the power of your minimum payment to get rid of the debt. And then for the rest of his life, the $1,250 he can put in the bank. So
which gets him to that $577,000.
Bankruptcy can get you out of debt quicker in 6 months. Debt resolution, it can take 18 months. A Chapter 13 is the difference between the two from the standpoint of which works best. The key is to find the solution that gets you out of debt the fastest way at the least possible cost. But the bigger point is you need to get rid of the debt and make the move to preserve your future retirement. That's where people are missing, and they're getting brainwashed on this notion that their credit score is more important than their retirement. They don't think of it that way, it's not presented that way, but that's the way it is. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.